Hi, my dearest colleagues. Sorry, but I cannot be with you in this monthly meeting. I prepared this video to show to you my experience collecting primary data, and I hope the insights will be useful for you. First, a quick outline of my PhD study. I am investigating the impact digital technologies are having in the way board of directors work. I am interested to know how the automation, adoption of AI, robotics, analytics, cloud computing migration, and online real-time access to information change the way board members interact with senior executives, employees, and how they explore the opportunities and avoid threats coming from a digital ecosystem. I noticed two things or two facts when I started reading the literature on board of directors. First, there is a scarcity of empirical studies, and second, the few studies always repeat the same statement that achieving access to senior participants is very rare and difficult. Well, but I had to interview at least 25 board members. Then what do I have to do? My first thought was to ask for help inside the Henry Business School. Then I asked to meet the director of alumni and development team. He was very open and interested in my project and offered me support. I engaged with his team and we sent an email to the alumni members which matched with the sample profile. That just did not work. I got one message back from an actual non-executive director, but not an interview. And during this process, I spent 45 days between the meeting with the director of the alumni department and the day we sent the email. The second approach or attempt was made contacting senior academics of different departments in the university, presenting an outline of my research to them in one-to-one meetings by phone and Microsoft Teams. And after 40 days, I got one interview that in reality turned out to be a failure, as the director was interviewing had no seat in a boardroom. And then I tried to use my personal network of contacts in companies I've worked in the last 20 years of my career. And then I believed that this effort would bring results. But after 40 days, speaking to senior executives, trying to reach the company's secretaries, the real gatekeepers, and waiting for responses, nothing at all. While I was making these efforts, I was attending events promoted by specialized companies that provide service for board of directors. For example, the Board Intelligent events in London, Diligent events in London as well. And finally, after around 60 days, I got my first interview on the 5th of May of 2020 after receiving my ethical approval on the 11th of May of 2020. But I was worrying about the fact that I spent around in average 60 days to arrange one interview. And then if my math was correct, I would spend incredible 4 years to interview 25 board members. I started to feel hopeless. All these attempts and efforts were made before the pandemic, and then COVID-19 changed everything, and I visualized a great window of opportunity. As everyone started using online communication and with the mobility restrictions, I decided to invest 100% of my time to plan an approach exploring social media, online events, webinars, podcasts, to identify and engage with board members. I subscribed to LinkedIn Premium as it allows you to send emails to people that are not in your network. But be aware, as they let you send only 15 messages per month. And I used LinkedIn search engine to identify board members that were alumni of the University of Reading or Henley Business School. And this was a very good strategy, as the people which I sent messages were more sympathetic with me by the fact that somehow we were part of the same community, studying or studied at Henley Business School in Reading. I identify searching on Google a calendar of webinars promoted by companies that provide services targeting board members, Institute of Directors, Diligent, and I attend several of them just to identify the names of target respondents to engage with them on LinkedIn after the events. The same strategy was used while listening to podcasts. I identified several potential participants, listening to interviews, and I expanded my network too with the owners of the podcasts. You can find, if you are studying corporate governance, you can find the top 10 podcasts for 2020 in this blog that appears in your screen. And after that, I completed my list of potential participants exploring the Crunchbase. Crunchbase is a website which gives you information about CEOs, board members of several companies here in Europe and in America. And then they let you get some contacts for free when you register. During the first 15 days of the pandemic, I spent time planning my approach, writing different versions of introductory letters, short introductions with 3 to 4 lines and 150 words, and which would grab the attention of potential respondents, and identifying potential participants using LinkedIn, the Crunchbase, and listen to a massive number of podcasts. After 1 month, I made approximately 350 potential participants, which I was approaching and engaging with them as soon as I identified them. But how to engage with participants? I applied the principle of relevance and selective attention, meaning that my message to them should be short, precise, and grab their attention. Therefore, I personalized each one of the email messages. For example, after watching a webinar, I got the name of the person, accessed his or her profile on LinkedIn, identified key points about their career, where they work, profile of the companies, and I wrote messages adding some elements extracted from the research I made. And when they were from other nationality, I wrote in their mother tongue. So I used a snowball technique as well to ask participants to refer me to other board members, and this worked just for one person that referred me to 2 others. This strategy, in general, worked very well. It takes a time to get the right message, but after some practice, it brings you fast return. The rate of conversion was around 80%, meaning that I approached around 340 people to have 35 interviews in 7 months, for which I am using 28 for writing an article and findings of my thesis. On conclusion, I prepared a survival kit, which consists of a list of potential participants. As much more you have, the better. A short message to be used on LinkedIn, 1-page letter outlining the study, and 1-page briefing about the interview, which I sent attached to the Zoom link, only after agreement was reached with the participants. I hope the outline of my experience can help you somehow to execute your data collection. Thank you, and don't hesitate to get in touch if you need some. Bye!